I've been where you are, frustrated, exhausted, and feeling like my body had turned against me during menopause. Without realizing it, I was making 12 out of 20 critical mistakes. That's when everything clicked. Menopause wasn't the enemy, my daily habits were. Today, I'm sharing every mistake that was sabotaging my health and energy, from hidden sugar traps to the strength training error that was actually weakening my bones. These revelations changed everything for me. Welcome, I'm Michelle, and in this video, I'll talk about my experience. You grabbed that granola bar this morning thinking you made a healthy choice. The package screams natural and wholesome grains, but flip it over and you'll find 18 grams of sugar. That's more than a Snickers bar. Your body doesn't care about the marketing claims when glucose floods your bloodstream and triggers another wave of heat that leaves you peeling off layers in the middle of a meeting. Most women point fingers at their hormones when hot flashes strike, but your food choices are the real troublemakers here. Every time you eat certain foods, you're essentially throwing gasoline on a fire that's already burning. Your estrogen levels are dropping, yes, but what you put in your mouth determines whether that transition feels manageable or miserable. That innocent-looking frozen dinner sitting in your freezer contains 1,200 milligrams of sodium. The recommended daily limit is 2,300 milligrams, which means one meal just delivered half your day's worth. When you're dining out, that number skyrockets. A typical restaurant entree packs between 2,000 and 4,000 milligrams of sodium, sometimes reaching an entire week's worth in a single plate. Your blood pressure doesn't stand a chance. Here's what happens when you eat highly processed foods during menopause. These products contain inflammatory compounds that your body treats like invaders. Your immune system launches an attack, creating inflammation throughout your entire system. This inflammation directly triggers the hypothalamus, the brain region that controls your body temperature. The result? More frequent, more intense hot flashes that seem to come out of nowhere. Refined carbohydrates create their own special kind of chaos. When you eat that bagel or bowl of cereal, your blood sugar shoots up fast, then crashes hard. Your body interprets this roller coaster as stress and releases cortisol to stabilize things. But cortisol and dropping estrogen create a perfect storm of mood swings, irritability, and yes, more hot flashes. You think you're having a hormonal moment, but you're actually experiencing the aftermath of your breakfast choice. Trans fats hiding in fried foods and processed snacks launch a direct assault on your cardiovascular system right when you need protection most. During your reproductive years, estrogen acted like a bodyguard for your heart and blood vessels. It kept your arteries flexible and your cholesterol levels balanced. Now that protection is gone and trans fats are free to damage your artery walls, increase bad cholesterol, and set the stage for heart disease. The sodium problem goes beyond blood pressure spikes. During menopause, your kidneys become less efficient at processing excess salt. When you eat high-sodium foods, your body holds onto extra water to dilute the salt concentration. This water retention shows up as bloating, swollen fingers, and that puffy feeling that makes your clothes fit wrong. Meanwhile, your heart works harder to pump blood through a system flooded with excess fluid. These foods aren't just failing to nourish you. They're actively sabotaging your body's attempts to find a new balance without estrogen. Every processed meal, every sugary snack, every fried food creates more work for systems that are already stressed. Your liver has to process more toxins, your pancreas works overtime managing blood sugar spikes, and your adrenal glands pump out stress hormones to cope with the inflammation. The solution isn't to eat nothing but lettuce and suffer through cravings. You need strategic swaps that satisfy your taste buds while supporting your changing body. Replace that morning granola bar with Greek yogurt topped with berries and a handful of nuts. The protein stabilizes blood sugar, the berries provide antioxidants that fight inflammation, and the healthy fats keep you satisfied. When dining out, ask for dressings and sauces on the side. choose grilled over fried options, and fill half your plate with vegetables. At home, read labels like your health depends on it, because it does. Look for products with fewer than 5 grams of added sugar per serving and less than 200 milligrams of sodium per serving. 3 specific whole foods can actually help cool hot flashes. Flax seeds contain lignans that provide gentle estrogenic effects. Add ground flaxseed to smoothies or yogurt for a daily dose of hormone-balancing compounds. Leafy greens, like spinach and kale, are packed with magnesium, which helps regulate body temperature and reduce hot flash frequency. Wild-caught fatty fish provides omega-3 fatty acids that fight inflammation and support brain health during this transition. Your kitchen holds the power to make menopause easier or harder. Choose foods that work with your changing body instead of against it, and you'll notice the difference in how you feel within days. If this video is helping you understand your body better, consider giving it a like and subscribing to our channel. This tells YouTube that this content matters and helps it reach other women going through the same struggle. So by liking or subscribing, you're not just supporting this channel, you're helping another woman feel seen, understood, and empowered, and that's pretty powerful. That coffee mug in your hand and the wine glass waiting on your counter aren't just innocent habits anymore. During menopause, caffeine and alcohol transform from harmless pleasures into bone thieves and sleep destroyers. You might think one morning cup and a glass of wine with dinner counts as moderate, but your changing body has different rules now. Your doctor probably mentioned cutting back on alcohol and caffeine, but nobody explained the specific damage they cause when estrogen disappears. The guidelines you followed in your 30s don't apply anymore. What used to be moderate drinking by general standards might actually qualify as heavy drinking for menopausal women. Your body processes both substances differently now, and the consequences show up faster and hit harder. Alcohol wreaks havoc on the delicate hormone balance your body desperately tries to maintain without estrogen. When you drink, your liver prioritizes processing alcohol over producing the hormones your body needs. This disruption affects your sleep cycles, body temperature regulation, and mood stability. Alcohol also triggers the release of stress hormones that mimic and amplify menopausal symptoms. Your hot flashes become more frequent and intense, your mood swings more dramatic, and your sleep more fragmented. That third cup of coffee does more than keep you awake. Caffeine forces your kidneys to excrete calcium through your urine, literally pulling this essential mineral from your bones. Studies show that heavy caffeine consumption accelerates spine bone loss in postmenopausal women, especially when calcium intake falls short. Each cup of coffee causes you to lose about 6 milligrams of calcium. Drink 3 cups, and you've lost nearly 20 milligrams before lunch. Your bones can't afford this loss when estrogen no longer protects your skeletal system. The timing of your caffeine and alcohol creates a perfect storm of sleep destruction. Caffeine consumed after 2 p.m. interferes with your ability to fall asleep at night. Even if you manage to drift off, the quality of your sleep suffers. Meanwhile, alcohol might make you drowsy initially, but it fragments your sleep patterns throughout the night. You wake up feeling exhausted, despite spending 8 hours in bed. This sleep disruption triggers a cascade of hormonal chaos. Poor sleep elevates cortisol, your stress hormone, which then increases ghrelin, the hormone that makes you hungry. Sleep-deprived women produce more ghrelin and less leptin, the hormone that signals fullness. The result is increased appetite and cravings for high-calorie foods, making weight control nearly impossible during an already challenging time. Alcohol's empty calories target your midsection with precision during menopause. When your metabolism slows by 2 to 3% each year after age 40, these empty calories accumulate as belly fat. Alcohol also interferes with fat burning because your liver prioritizes metabolizing alcohol over burning stored fat. Those weekend drinks aren't just adding calories, they're actively preventing weight loss. The compound effect of late-day caffeine and nightly alcohol creates health problems that extend far beyond poor sleep. This combination increases your risk of heart disease and stroke, conditions that become more likely after menopause when estrogen stops protecting your cardiovascular system. Sleep deprivation from caffeine and alcohol also weakens your immune system and accelerates aging at the cellular level. The solution isn't complete abstinence, but strategic timing and precise limits. Your drinks can either support or sabotage your transition through menopause. Choose wisely and you'll sleep better, feel stronger, and maintain healthier bones. But even perfect drink choices can't compensate for the nutrient gaps that accelerate aging. You're counting calories and cutting portions, but the real problem isn't that you're eating too much. You're starving your body of 3 essential nutrients it needs more than ever. The biggest mistake women make during menopause isn't overeating, it's undernourishing, and these gaps are fast-tracking every sign of aging you're trying to prevent. The nutrient requirements your doctor gave you in your 20s don't work anymore. Your body's needs shifted dramatically when your hormones changed, but nobody updated your nutrition plan. You might think that calcium supplement and protein shake cover your bases, but most women over 40 fall dangerously short of what their changing bodies actually require. The consequences show up as symptoms you blame on menopause when they're really signs of nutritional deficiency. Calcium deficiency isn't just stealing your future bone health. It's causing problems right now that you probably don't connect to nutrition. Those muscle cramps that wake you up at night happen because calcium controls muscle contractions. When levels drop, your muscles misfire and spasm. The mood swings and irritability you attribute to hormones often stem from calcium deficiency affecting neurotransmitter function. Even your sleep problems connect to low calcium, since this mineral helps your brain produce melatonin. Your body needs 1,200 to 1,300 milligrams of calcium daily after menopause, but the average woman gets barely 600 milligrams from food. 1 cup of milk provides about 300 milligrams, so you'd need 4 cups daily just to meet minimum requirements. Most women don't drink that much milk, and they don't compensate with other calcium-rich foods. The math doesn't work, and your bones pay the price. Here's what makes this worse. Vitamin D deficiency turns your calcium intake into wasted effort. Without adequate vitamin D, your body absorbs only 10 to 15% of the calcium you consume. With sufficient vitamin D, that number jumps to 30 to 40%. The hidden epidemic of vitamin D deficiency affects up to 80% of women over 50, making their calcium efforts nearly useless. Vitamin D deficiency doesn't just block calcium absorption. It weakens your immune system, making you more susceptible to infections and autoimmune problems. Low vitamin D levels directly contribute to depression and seasonal mood disorders that worsen during menopause. Low protein intake creates the most devastating nutrient gap of all. Your protein needs actually increase during menopause to combat muscle loss, but most women eat less protein than they did in their younger years. You need 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. For a 150-pound woman, that means 68 to 82 grams of protein every day. Most women eat half that amount. This protein shortage triggers muscle loss that slows your metabolism and makes weight control nearly impossible. Every pound of muscle you lose reduces your daily calorie burn by 30 to 50 calories. Lose 5 pounds of muscle and your metabolism drops by up to 250 calories per day. That's like gaining 1 pound every 2 weeks without changing your eating habits. The domino effect extends to your bones, which need protein for their structural matrix. Bones aren't just calcium deposits, they're living tissue built from a protein framework that calcium fills in. Without adequate protein, your bones become brittle and weak, regardless of calcium intake. This explains why some women with good calcium intake still develop osteoporosis. Crash diets and yo-yo dieting make these deficiencies catastrophic. Every time you severely restrict calories, you lose muscle mass along with fat. When you regain weight, you gain back mostly fat, not muscle. This cycle leaves you with less muscle mass and slower metabolism after each diet attempt. Your protein needs increase, but your intake often decreases during restrictive eating phases. The food combinations that maximize nutrient absorption matter more than total amounts. Pair calcium-rich foods with vitamin D sources and magnesium for optimal bone support. Combine protein with vitamin C to enhance absorption. Eat calcium and iron-rich foods at different meals, since they compete for absorption. Greek yogurt with berries provides calcium, protein, and vitamin C in one meal. Canned salmon with bones delivers calcium, protein, and vitamin D together. Fortified plant milks paired with nuts offer calcium, protein, and healthy fats that support nutrient absorption. These aren't just nutritional guidelines anymore. They're the foundation for maintaining strength and preventing the accelerated aging that poor nutrition causes during menopause. But even perfect nutrition can't overcome the exercise mistakes that weaken your bones. You spend an hour on the treadmill 3 times a week, but your bones are getting weaker. You stretch for 5 minutes after each workout, thinking you've covered all the bases, but you're missing the most critical exercises your body needs during menopause. That cardio routine you've relied on for years isn't just failing to protect you anymore. It's actually accelerating the very problems you're trying to prevent. Exercise advice designed for 25-year-olds doesn't work for bodies navigating menopause. Your hormone levels have shifted dramatically, changing how your muscles respond to training and how your bones maintain their density. Most fitness programs ignore these changes completely, leaving women following routines that worked in their youth but fail miserably now. The result is weaker bones, lost muscle mass, and increased injury risk despite hours spent exercising. Your daily cardio sessions provide zero stimulus for bone building. Walking, cycling, and swimming might improve your cardiovascular health, but they don't create the mechanical stress bones need to stay strong. Without estrogen protecting your skeleton, bones require direct loading and impact to maintain density. That gentle morning walk feels productive, but it's doing nothing to prevent the bone loss happening inside your body right now. Sitting at your desk for 8 hours, then doing cardio for 1 hour, doesn't cancel out the damage of prolonged inactivity. Research shows that being sedentary poses health risks comparable to smoking for menopausal women. Every hour you spend sitting triggers a cascade of metabolic changes that slow fat burning, increase insulin resistance, and accelerate bone loss. Your body interprets prolonged sitting as a signal that bones don't need to stay strong since they're not being used. The metabolic consequences of sitting extend beyond bone health. Extended periods of inactivity cause your muscles to stop producing enzymes that break down fat and regulate blood sugar. This shutdown happens within hours of sitting, not days or weeks. When you finally stand up and move, it takes time for these systems to reactivate. The result is slower metabolism and increased fat storage, particularly around your midsection, where menopausal weight gain tends to accumulate. Endless cardio without strength training creates a perfect storm for muscle loss during menopause. Your body already loses muscle mass at an accelerated rate when estrogen drops. Cardio-only routines do nothing to counteract this loss, and may actually make it worse by creating a catabolic environment that breaks down muscle tissue for energy. Every pound of muscle you lose reduces your daily calorie burn and makes weight control harder. Skipping balance and flexibility training sets you up for the falls that cause devastating fractures in women with compromised bone density. Balance naturally declines with age, but most women ignore this until after they've fallen. A fall that might bruise a younger woman can shatter the hip or spine of a menopausal woman with low bone density. These fractures often mark the beginning of a downward spiral of reduced mobility and independence. Strength training isn't optional during menopause. It's the only form of exercise that directly signals bones to maintain their density. When you lift weights or perform resistance exercises, you create mechanical stress that bones interpret as a need to stay strong. This signal triggers bone-building cells to deposit new calcium and maintain bone structure. Without this stimulus, bones continuously break down faster than they rebuild. The timing and type of exercise need to align with your hormonal changes. High-intensity interval training works better than steady-state cardio for managing insulin resistance that increases during menopause. Strength training sessions need to be frequent enough to counteract accelerated muscle loss. Balanced training becomes essential for preventing the falls that younger bodies could recover from. But menopausal bodies cannot. Your exercise prescription needs 3 components to work during menopause. First, strength training 2 to 3 times per week using weights, resistance bands, or bodyweight exercises that challenge your muscles. Simple exercises like lunges and stair climbing provide weight-bearing stimulus for bones while building muscle strength. Second, balance exercises like standing on one foot, walking heel to toe, or practicing yoga poses that challenge your stability. Third, flexibility work that maintains range of motion and reduces injury risk. The minimum effective dose for bone protection requires less time than you think, but more precision than most women apply. 2 strength training sessions per week can preserve bone density if the exercises target major muscle groups and use progressive overload. Balance training can be integrated into daily activities by standing on one foot while brushing teeth or walking heel to toe down hallways. Your bones are counting on you to provide the right signals for strength. Give them what they need through targeted exercise, and they'll support you for decades to come. Before you go, if this video gave you a new insight or made you feel seen, tap like and subscribe. It helps YouTube share this with other women who need it, and you might be the reason someone else finally finds hope and clarity.